Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, friends. This is Dr. Ghufran Babar. I am an endocrinologist in America. Today's video is about how to take FCPS Part 1 exam, what are the tips for this exam, how to pass it on first attempt, and how can you develop a plan. You will be asking that I'm an endocrinologist in America and why am I making this video on FCPS Part 1. The reason is that I had passed my FCPS Part 1 while I was preparing for USMLE Step 1. And those of you who are interested in USMLE, I've made videos on USMLE Step 1, 2, and 3. Please like this video if you learn from it and subscribe to my channel. So going back to the FCPS Part 1 training, or the preparation for the exam. When I was trying to prepare for the exam, people would discourage me that, okay, we have done FCPS, don't do FCPS, what are you going to get out of it? So there are a lot of people who discourage you. But, in English, they say that a bird in hand is better than two in the bush. So it's better to take this exam and do post-graduation in Pakistan if it is the easier option for you, because coming to US is a difficult option. There is a lot more money involved, a lot of time is consumed in it. So I would first encourage all of you to take the FCPS 1, start the FCPS training, and don't waste any time. And if during your FCPS Part 2 training you have time and you have resources, you can try attempting the USMLE exam. As far as the FCPS Part 1 preparation is concerned, you need a proper plan. If you ask me, honestly, you should have an option of taking FCPS Part 1 at the end of the 4th year in medical school, because you have studied pathology, pharmacology, the basic sciences. So that is probably the easier time. Until that time comes, we have to make up our plan. So if you can share this video with the students who are still in medical school, that would be really nice, because I would advise that if you can start studying the BRS pathology during your 4th year of medical school, when you are doing Robbins textbook of pathology, that would be really nice, because compared to Robbins, this is a very concisely written board review series pathology, because that would you will get familiarized with this book, and when you are trying to take your FCPS Part 1, you'll have no problem. And same is with your 2nd and 3rd year. If you can do physiology with BRS as well, and you can do the pharmacology BRS, that would be fine, or otherwise you would be learning pharmacology from the relevant textbooks. And anatomy, Snell's review of anatomy would be easier to do it during the first professional medical exam. So that was in the hindsight. Most of you who are watching this video, you have already done with the medical school, probably are in the house job or after the house job. One thing that I would strongly encourage is that in our part of the world, we spend a lot of time on postgraduate exams. We are a lot of time, we are sweating on it, or it's going to be very difficult, very hard. And the people who are your seniors, they will kind of discourage you. So don't listen to them. Post-graduation is not hard. It's only that you have to prepare for it in a timely manner, in an efficient way. So if you are a house officer, I would recommend that during your house job, if you can finish 2 books, even before your house job, during your final year, would be the physiology, the board review series physiology, and the board review series pathology, because you had just finished pathology during the 3rd professional. So those 2 books would be very, very, very easy. If you have not studied and you are now in house job, then you can easily read these 2 books, that is physiology and pathology. And if you feel that would not be possible, you can read the first aid to USMLE Step 1, which is a review book. You're doing your house job, you have time at your lunch break, you have time after your evening rounds, you can read a few pages here and there. It's just the time management. A lot of times we say, okay, I'm done with my final year exam. Now I need to chill, I need to spend some time, enjoy. I mean, it's okay to enjoy as well. You can spend time on it, but use whatever time is available towards planning and preparing for your postgraduate exam, because time is money, and time flies away. But the main thing is that you are the pilot of this time. You're going to drive this boat of your life forward. So please pay attention to time, whatever you have available during the house job, and try to go over it. If you're done with your house job, then you have about I would say use 3 to 4 months after house job, while you are applying for your job, or you're working in a private hospital, you are just staying at home for 3 or 4 months. That would be ideal, because then you can focus on this exam. So FCPS Part 1 has 2-day exams, day 1 and day 2. Day 1 is same for all fields, whether you are doing medicine or allied, or surgery, or any other subspecialty, pediatrics, OBGYN, ophthalmology, whatever is your field. But the day 1 is the similar kind of a test. So there are MCQs that you have to take, and the fee that I looked up was about 15,050 rupees. It varies, so it's a lot of money for a young doc. So make sure that you have planned for this test well, so that you can pass it on your first attempt. So this is the goal of today's video. So the first thing first is to download your syllabus. The syllabus for the Part 1 FCPS is your roadmap. Okay, this is what I need to study. These are the topics that I need to cover. And make sure while you are preparing this for this exam, you cover each and everything which is included in your syllabus. So you have downloaded your syllabus, you will go over it, and then you have to choose the books. Okay, what books can I actually study for this exam? So there are main subjects which you have to study, which are the main subjects, including you will start with anatomy, and then there are minor subjects. So anatomy is one of the main subjects. It is recommended that you can do clinical anatomy review by Richard Snell, which is good. And for certain people who are doing surgery, OB, they can study abdomen or pelvis from the big Snell's book. So that is for anatomy. Then you have board review series. The board review series is for other 2 major subjects, which are the physiology and the pathology. They are from different authors. The red one for pathology is Arthur Schneider, which is 5th edition. Then the BRS physiology, Linda Costanzo. She has written a good book, 6th edition, which could be blue and yellow in color. And then first aid to USMLE Step 1, 2020, which is actually a review of high yield points for all the subjects. Then neuroanatomy and gross anatomy could be done from Stanley Kaplan notes. And then there is also high yield neuroanatomy for the neuroanatomy. For the minor subjects, which are biochemistry, pharmacology, general pathology, biostat, microbiology, you can either do the first aid book, first aid to USMLE, which will have a good amount of knowledge. And when you will be doing your MCQs, you will have plenty of opportunity. From what I've reviewed, Rabia Ali's MCQs are good with less errors, and you will be able to revise all those minor subjects during that, because you may have 5 MCQs from each of them. So if there are 5 or 6 minor subjects, you make sure that you get those easy points, because pharmacology or biochemistry, general pathology, biostat, microbiology, these are easy points that you can pick up by studying these smaller subjects. Then you need to have review things for the MCQs, and there are MCQs available at the end of each chapter on the board review series books. For biochemistry, I looked at Lippincotts biochemistry. It has got questions at the end of it. BRS pharmacology, it has got questions at the end of it. BRS microbiology, it again after every chapter there are questions. So if you want to buy these books and do those questions at the end of each chapter, I mean, they will be helpful. Same is with the biostat chapters as well. Other things which are available, Tanveer notes, which are specialty-wise review notes, one-liners that you can study, and you can revise those things. Then pearls of FCPS are available, SK pearls, chapter-wise, and golden files. The golden files are the files which have past papers, so I would recommend doing at least 5 years of previous papers of all subspecialties, because the questions are the same, they may mix and match. So if you can do 5 years of papers, that would be really nice. Asim and Shoaib, they say, are good for gynae and dentistry, and you can use these review notes as well. And SK Pearls has plus Rabia Ali's MCQs have the MCQs for biostat, pharmacology, microbiology, biochemistry, histology. You can also buy high yield embryology because that will help you with the questions on the embryology. So these are the subjects that you would be tested on, and these will be the tools that you will utilize to prepare. So now is the study plan. The study plan varies from person to person, varies from individuals' learning ability and memorization, retention of facts. So those things are your personal landmark. Some people may be able to prepare in 2 months, some in 3 months, some in 4 months. So develop a plan that suits to your abilities. Don't copy other people's plans. I know what is my ability. I know what I can achieve in 20 days, what I can achieve in 2 months, 4 months, or what I can achieve in 6 months. So you have to assess based on your previous performance during the medical school. If you were a student who enjoyed time during medical school, did not study a lot, then you probably need more time. Someone who was studious, was really working hard during the medical school, probably would be better off. So you have to make, realistically speaking, 3 to 4 months is a decent time to prepare. There are different types of strategies people use. Some people use one subject, they pick one subject and they finish and then start with the second, then the third and the fourth. That is fine too. What I used to do is that I used to pick 2 or 3 subjects at one time so that I don't get bored with one subject, and I could study 3 hours one subject or 2 hours one subject, and then the pick next one and pick the next one. So you can develop a plan, count the pages, say, of board review pathology, board review physiology, board review or Snell's anatomy. So divide the papers or the pages. Say you want to finish these subjects in 1 month or 2 months, then you need to study that number of pages according to your own ability. So I would strongly encourage you that every day, say you are studying physiology and BRS, you are studying cardiology. So relevant to that cardiology, if you can study pathology from cardiovascular system, that would be nice. And if you are doing chest for anatomy, you can study the thorax. That would be helpful. And then at the end of the day, say if you're divided 3-3-3, 9 hours, and if you have stamina of 12 hours a day, during the last 3 hours, you can do the MCQs. From Rabia Ali, say you did cardiovascular system or physiology of heart or physiology of cardiovascular system, you can do relevant questions. Same is with the thoracic anatomy, same is with the pathology. So that will kind of give you an idea of how you are doing. And when you are doing these MCQs, you make an error, you make a mistake, you write down those topics, write down that question, and then you can make your own flashcards. So you can write down the question on one side, answer on the other side, and that will be your review strategy. Okay, I had to guess on this question, or I did not answer this question. So any question that you guess or answer is something that you need to revise. So make these flashcards for yourself, for your own memorization, which you can utilize and prepare as you go along. Say you can make 10 or 20 flashcards a day based on the number of questions. If you can do, say, 40 questions a day, that would be really nice. So give those 3 hours for the review. So you can study, say you wake up at 6 a.m., perform your Fajr Salah, and then do a nice breakfast. You can start studying at 7 or 8 a.m. If you start at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1 is 6 hours. If you start at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, so you can study until 2. So 6 hours in the morning somehow, and 3 and 3 you can divide in 2 subjects. 2 o'clock you offer your Zohar Salah, and then you have a nice lunch, take a 1 hour break in which you can relax your mind. Then at 3 o'clock, 4, 5, 6, you can have 3 hours of another subject, and then you offer your Asr Namaz, Asr Salah, depending upon the variable time. You can have a cup of tea, relax a little bit, relax your mind, and 8, 9, 10, you have 3 hours that you can do the MCQs, and you can practice those questions, make your flashcards. So those would be your daily times that you can utilize. You can finish these 3 subjects in 1 month to 45 days, and then you can study other subjects which are minor subjects. You can also revise those questions. You can also give a designated time to first aid, to USMLE as well. If you want to say study 2 hours of your BRS and then give 1 hour to the similar chapter in first aid USMLE, so you can do that as well. So that would be a good plan, that you are studying 2 hours of BRS, 1 hour of first aid physiology, the first aid high yield points, then you're doing pathology, then you are doing anatomy. So those things will be working towards your favor. So then, you like I said, you are your boss. You will know what I'm gonna do. Then you can, as the time goes by, you can study your neuroanatomy, high yield embryology. So those things could be done. And then the high yield book will cover your minor subjects like pharmacology, microbiology, biochemistry, histology, embryology as well, and biostat questions. So depending upon how well you are doing, you may use up to 2 months for these subjects. After you finish these 2, the last 30 days, I would encourage you to strongly consider doing the MCQs. So you have done those MCQs while you were studying, and now you can have time doing the Rabia Ali's MCQs. You can do the Tanveer notes. You can do the pearls of FCPS. You can do the SK pearls chapter wise, golden files, the previous papers, all these things. Last 1 month, give all your time to these MCQs. Again, during MCQs, if you have to guess an MCQ, you make sure, or you are making an error, you make sure you make your flashcard. So these flashcards would be your key during the last, say, 5 days. you can revise all these high yield notes that you made for yourself in addition to first aid and the Tanveer notes. So you have gone over all these things. So remember, every plan you make has to be individualized, and don't try to burn out yourself in listening to other people. Okay, take 2 months, take 3 months. If you think that you are someone who needs 4 months, give yourself an extra month to prepare for the exam. So your own abilities would be your own kind of guidance that how well are you gonna do on these exam. There are revision notes by Kim, Khalid, Iqbal, Marwat that you can also do during the last month. And like I said, golden files for the last 5 years of papers that would be really useful. The Tanveer notes. So all these things you can do, and you can stay confident in your abilities. The one thing that I'm gonna stress is that I don't believe in people doing 2 or 3 revisions. So do well on first, and then you should have, when you're studying, tell yourself, pray to Allah that Allah, whatever I'm studying, I should remember it forever. People who do, okay, I'm going to study this one time, then I'm going to study another time, then I'm going to study another time, they do not do well. They are anxious people. You trust in Allah, trust in your abilities, and tell yourself, I'm going to study only twice. I'm going to do it well on the first time. Second time, I'm going to do the MCQs. If I don't remember anything, I will go back. So if you follow this strategy, because every MCQ will be a learning point for you. So gradually doing that will be fine. If you are someone who wants to pick one subject and then finish and then do, that's fine too. If you are that kind of person, then I would say start with the easiest subject first, physiology, pathology, then you can do anatomy. So it depends on how strong your base is, how strong you are mentally, but I would recommend start with an easy thing that will give you confidence. In all postgraduate exams, you need confidence. Trust in your abilities, trust in Allah, and you will do well. I hope this video was useful for you all. Please like this video, share with your friends, and like I said, if there are any medical students, they need to prepare themselves for this postgraduate exam starting in the final year with studying physiology and pathology, doing first aid during the house job year, and then when they're done with that, it will be very, very easy to pass this exam, inshallah. May Allah help you and make you successful in this exam. Please like and share this video. Sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Assalamu alaikum.